Sixth institution, in this case, government, the United States government. My fellow panelists, congressmen and two governors, have spoken very clearly about the U.S. role, and I want to second their points and reiterate a couple that are very specific and key right now. The United States is the key country internationally in pressing the Iraqi government to back off its threats against Camp Ashraf. The U.S. needs to provide direct and new security guarantees for the residents of the camp. The U.S. needs to work inside the United Nations Security Council, marshaling those other countries along in the Council to authorize a full-time UNAMI presence, a protection presence in the camp. And the U.S. should be urged to take up the case of Camp Ashraf in President Obama's new Atrocities Prevention Board, which was just created last week, chaired by the National Security Advisor, Tom Donald. It's a brand new entity, interagency entity within the U.S. government to deal with issues precisely like that which are facing the residents of Camp Ashraf. Let's make a test case of that Atrocities Prevention Board, the case of whether the United States will act to prevent atrocities in Camp Ashraf. Seventh actor I'd like to call upon are European states. I think work should intensify now to negotiate the necessary arrangements to accept refugees in a number of European countries once that refugee status is accorded, as well as the United States. And then eighth and finally, the Iranian diaspora. You have done an extraordinary job of putting this issue on the map of parliamentarians and congresses around the world. Now, there are many successful cases of campaigning on the basis of humanitarian issues that you can call upon during these critical next 6 months in trying to get action. You can look at the anti-apartheid efforts on South Africa. You can look at the anti-genocide efforts in Darfur, which are still incomplete. You can look at the case of blood diamonds, which stopped wars in West Africa. For campaign success, particularly in the U.S., and I think my political friends could attest to this, youth are a key demographic. So I would therefore urge you to invest in young Iranians abroad, particularly in the United States, as a critical component of a strategy of persuading the Obama administration and others to act proactively to prevent further crisis. Youth are an even more crucial ingredient to success in your campaign during an election year. So focus on building that capacity. In conclusion, the world has a unique opportunity here to prevent further crimes against humanity before they happen. The world rarely has that chance. Fulfilling the international responsibility to protect is a function of political will. That political will has to be generated by continuing to politicize and publicize the plight of the residents of Camp Ashraf. The good news is there is a solution if only the politicians in D.C., New York, and elsewhere will act. We have to force them to act. Thank you very much.
Et maintenant, j'ai l'honneur de vous présenter la prochaine oratrice, Madame Ingrid Betancourt. Mais ai-je besoin de la présenter? Elle qui, mieux que personne, peut comprendre la situation d'Ashraf aujourd'hui. Je vous passe la parole.